What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Black Ops 6 has added Nuketown into the map rotation. We've also received some double XP and Nuketown 24/7. And it's very clear that this community has welcomed Nuketown back with open arms. As is tradition with a Treyarch game, we get Nuketown at some point either at launch or just a few weeks after. And honestly, it's nice to have Nuketown here in Black Ops 6. Because I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, it is the best map in the game. Hands down. It has a better aesthetic, it has a better feel, it has a better vibe, and it just overall plays better than any other map in this game. There is still chaos when it comes to Nuketown, but it's more controlled, it's more predictable. And there's a level of enjoyment that Nuketown brings that none of these maps seem to employ whatsoever. Yes, there is some nostalgia that is pushing me in that direction to that opinion, but it's also the way I play the map. I have a very weird relationship with Nuketown, very love and hate. But regardless of that, I see it for what it is here in Black Ops 6. A reminder that the maps that were designed by Treyarch over the last 4 years are abysmal. They pale in comparison to a map that has real character and a real aesthetic that it's trying to adhere to. None of the maps that are currently available outside of Nuketown in Black Ops 6 have an aesthetic, have any type of character to them whatsoever. They just feel like they are future points of interest for a Warzone map. And it's not like they even waited to port some of these Black Ops 6 maps into Warzone. Protocols are already ready to go when the brand new map releases. I don't really know what's going on with Warzone, so I'm not going to pretend that I'm all-knowing and understanding of the situation there. But I digress. The maps that were launched with Black Ops 6 are just bad. They lack flow. They lack a unique look to them. I mean, Lowtown is a good idea if it wasn't so terribly designed. The amount of water that map has is nice, but it completely negates an extra lane that the map has. And in addition to that, it just doesn't play well. It plays like a giant cluster of nonsense. And that's not the same with Nuketown. Nuketown, while yes, it is chaotic, there is predictability to all that chaos. There's a control to the chaos, which is how the maps used to be in Call of Duty. There was chaos to them, but there was a level of knowledge that you could attribute to every single map you play. There are crazy angles that Nuketown has, but knowing how to counter those angles is important. The problem with Black Ops 6's maps is yes, you can understand how to counter a certain angle, but then there's 4 other angles where you can be shot from. So there's no advantageous areas to ever try to go after and hold. And the lack of power positions is extremely noticeable. And frankly, it just makes every single map feel the exact same, even though they are vastly different. And I was recently watching some gameplay from back in the days, some COD 4 gameplay, some MW2 gameplay, and I was instantly transported back into that type of map design, where the maps felt like they were alive, like they were part of the overarching story for Call of Duty. That's not the case here in Black Ops 6. It doesn't feel like it adds anything to the core experience. They're just generic, they're bland, they're boring. And then you have Nuketown. There's a vibrancy to the map. Right when you log in, you have all these different colors hitting you. And the players pop as a result. One of my biggest criticisms right now of Black Ops 6 that is really bogging down some of my enjoyment is the fact that the map design hides the players so well. The players blend into the overall look of the maps very well. There's no player visibility, which has been a complaint ever since the original beta, but nothing's been done about it. But when you play Nuketown, that doesn't seem to be the issue. Because the map is so vibrant, so bright, the players pop. Those red names pop. You know who are your allies and who are your enemies. And it just begs the question, what were they doing over these 4 years? What were these 4,000 developers working on? Because they haven't solved core issues that needed to be resolved. They have a game right now that isn't living up to the expectations that the community set out for it. And this isn't supposed to be some sort of damnation against your own enjoyment of the game. There's aspects and elements of Black Ops 6 that I do enjoy. But at the same time, My enjoyment would be greatly increased and improved if the maps were better, if the game had flow, if we didn't have to deal with packet burst, or if SBMM wasn't as crazy as it is. Like, I get a pretty good game here on Nuketown, a really fun game, only to have my next 6 matches be absolute nonsense, where I'm dying around corners. Everyone is using recon, which, by the way, I mentioned that it needs to be taken out of the game. Nuketown is further example of that. Because you could be holding down areas in the house or whatever it might be, if you're playing hardpoint, for instance, and somebody spawns behind you, they know exactly where everyone is, instead of it being sort of a guess game. Yes, for the most part, people hide in the same spots when they're holding down a hardpoint on Nuketown, but regardless of that, you can shoot through the walls, you can take people out, and it's just an overpowered perk that does not need to be in the game. I'm sorry, it's not a perk, it's a combat specialty. But when you compare it to the other 2 combat specialties in this game, it is so far ahead of the benefits that the other 2 provide. And yet, nothing has been said by Treyarch and nothing has been done. And it really irks me, considering the fact that this used to be the development studio that cared about user feedback, that had somebody that would step in and say, hey, we hear your feedback, we're working on it. And that was one of the reasons why David Vonderhaar was held so highly within this community. But ever since he left, there's been that aspect missing. But I want to touch on that in a future video. I'm not going to go too deep into the hole that David Vonderhaar left. I want to bring it back to Nuketown, because I've been playing 24/7 Nuketown. I've been playing Nuketown in the regular playlist. And I'll say this, everybody wants to play that map. When it comes up, everybody flocks to it. The 24/7 playlist, I'm sure, is filled with players because the experience is far different. This map was created back in 2010, and somehow mechanics that were designed for a 2024 release of a Call of Duty game work better than the maps designed for that game. Omni movement flourishes here in Nuketown on Black Ops 6. It is the best use of Omni movement that I've seen in a map, because it's just a good map. It's not trying too hard to be innovative or try too hard to be anything more than itself. And that's why it's been in every single Call of Duty game. It is iconic, it is nostalgic, but it's also just flat out good. And it gives me some hope that when they bring in some of these classic maps, it's going to make Black Ops 6 play and feel completely different. I hope the rumors are true and that Yemen is coming back. I really hope that they finally add Plaza into one of these games, because I want to see more night maps, more variety in these map designs. But that's kind of for the future. We'll have to wait till Season 1 releases and pray that we get something better than what we currently have. But who knows? We'll have to wait and find out, which I hate saying, but that's kind of how it feels right now in the Call of Duty community. So those are my thoughts on Nuketown right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you liking it? Are you disliking it? Do you think it's better for the game or worse for the game? Love to hear your thoughts in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. You guys have been crushing it with the support on these videos, so thank you so much for that. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.